First up, we're going to make our cheese sauce. So you want to get yourself a good saucepan or a Dutch oven. Pop that onto the hob and turn the heat to medium. And we start by going in with about a tablespoon or two of unsalted butter. Once the butter starts to melt, we need some plain flour. Throw in about 1 or 2 tablespoons of your plain flour, and we need to cook out the flour for a minute or two. So stir it through and you'll end up with a lovely thick paste. After about 2 minutes, once you have your paste, we want to slowly start incorporating our full fat milk. So slowly pour in your milk, a few tablespoons at a time, stir it through, keep it moving, and slowly you'll start to get a really nice, thick, rich, creamy sauce. So once you have about a pint of milk in there, you'll have a lovely creamy sauce. And then we want to take some extra mature cheddar cheese. Grate a nice few handfuls of your cheddar cheese into a bowl, and the second cheese I like to use for this recipe is some Parmesan. So grate your Parmigiano Reggiano into a bowl, and this is a great combination of cheeses for an amazing flavour. Chuck in some of your cheddar cheese, also chuck in your Parmesan, and the last ingredient for the cheese sauce is some Dijon mustard. Chuck in a nice heaped teaspoon of your Dijon, stir through for a few minutes. We also want to season, and we want the cheese sauce to be really nice and thick and rich, so add any more cheese that you need. And when your sauce is really nice and thick and incredibly cheesy, you can just pop that to one side while we quickly blanch our cauliflower. So take your cauliflower, keep on the green leaves, these have great flavour, and simply chop it in half and then chop it into quarters. So we need to pop a large saucepan onto the heat, and you just want to simmer the cauliflower for about 10 minutes or so just to start the cooking process. And after about 10 minutes, you want to return your cheese sauce to the heat, pop the heat down fairly low, and then we want to chuck in our blanched cauliflower. Make sure you shake off as much of the water from the cauliflower as you can before it goes into the cheese sauce. Once you've got all of your cauliflower into the cheese sauce, just spend a minute to give that a really good mixing. Make sure all of the cauliflower is coated in the cheese sauce. And next, we want to pop our cauliflower into a baking dish or a baking tray. So pop all of your cauliflower into a baking dish, pour over any extra cheese sauce that we have, and then we want to finish with a nice handful of cheddar cheese, coating the top of the cauliflower cheese. And then we want an oven preheated to 180 degrees. Chuck in your cauliflower, and then we want to bake this off for about 35 to 45 minutes. But do keep an eye on it. We want the top to be golden brown. Once the top of your cauliflower cheese is lovely and golden brown, you want to remove that from the oven and then pile your cauli cheese onto a plate. And there's only one way to finish this lovely dish, and that is with a really nice generous grating of your Parmesan cheese. So generously coat your cauli cheese in the Parmesan, and there we have an all-time classic.